The Arch Manning hype train is out of control. I'm going to tell you coming up here on Four Verts why we need to just pump the brakes a little bit. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. I hope you had a good weekend. My name is Harrison Graham. We talk NFL, college football every single day here on Four Verts, so subscribe if you haven't. Arch Manning already getting number one pick buzz heading into next year's NFL draft. And like I said on today's show, I got a few different reasons why we need to just pump the brakes on that a little bit. Like, we don't need to get crazy here, and I understand with the last name Manning, you're going to get a lot of hype, and I'm fine with that. Hype makes this fun, gives us content, things to talk about, things to debate with your buddies and all that stuff. But I think we just need this to play out a little bit when it comes to Arch Manning and his NFL future for him. Okay, few reasons why we need to pump the brakes. Number one, he has started two games. He's played in 12 games. He came on late in relief in his freshman year when he redshirted, but you could play up to 4 games. And he started 2 games last year, and they used him as a runner, had a package for him, played in 10 games total. But he's only started 2 games. And sure, raw numbers look good when he has gotten to play, no doubt about it. We've seen the flashes, but it's a tiny sample size. And by the way, the 2 games he started, Louisiana Monroe and Mississippi State, the worst team in the SEC last year. So we don't need to act like, it'd be one thing if he started 6 games and he was 5-1 or 6-0 and he had a win over, A&M or something like that. Like, they hardly even played him in the A&M game last year. They didn't use him at all in the college football playoff, especially for the most part against Ohio State. So let's just give this some time, because to declare someone as a number 1 overall pick who hasn't played the prior year, like, I actually can't think of an example. Who is the last guy going into a draft getting real number 1 pick buzz that essentially hadn't played? I can't think of one. And again, I understand he's the nephew of Eli and Peyton. He's the grandson of Archie Manning. He's got great genes and he's got huge potential. But that's all it is right now. It's just that. It's potential at this point in time. Help us reach 10,000 subscribers here on Four Verts. We are so freaking close. The support you guys have shown has been amazing. This has been a fun journey. We launched this channel late last July, so to get to almost 10,000 subs in less than a year, that is awesome. That's a testament to all of you. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the content, and we'll continue to do so. Hit that subscribe button. It's 100% free. Okay, number 2. And there could be a lot of reasons for this, but he did not start over Quinn Ewers last year. The 2 games he started was when Ewers was out with an injury. And sure, you look at the raw numbers, Quinn Ewers certainly had a good statistical season, right? 31 touchdowns to 12 picks. It's a 2.5 to 1 ratio. Threw for a bunch of yards, yada, yada, yada. But was no threat to run, which is why they had a package for Arch as a runner. And I think just from a pure eye test standpoint, and I think the NFL agrees, is I thought he regressed last year. I thought he was better in 2023 when they made the college football playoff, the last year of it being a 4-teamer, and almost beat Washington in the first round. Last year they made it, obviously, in the 12-team playoff, won 2 rounds, but it was against Clemson, and they barely beat Arizona State. So I watched Texas last year, and they were also the beneficiary of a pretty soft SEC schedule, relatively speaking, right? Because the conference is so big, not every team in the conference plays everybody. They drew a pretty good draw. Their tough game was Georgia at home. They got smoked. Ewers was horrible in that game, by the way. Got benched for a couple series for Arch, who also did nothing. Then they went back to Ewers in the second half. So I'm not sitting here saying that doesn't mean Arch can't be better than Ewers, but there was real times last season where I'm just like, maybe you just go to Arch. Like, maybe you just start Arch next week and see if it sparks the offense. Because if you really followed Texas closely last year, the defense, not the offense, was the strength of that football team. And I thought Steve Sarkisian kind of had to coach around Quinn Ewers' weaknesses, and they still didn't really give Arch much of a shot to be the starter. Now, is that because he wasn't ready? Is that because he wasn't good enough? Is that because they had a promise for Quinn? I don't know. There could be a lot of reasons for that. That doesn't mean he's going to be better or worse, but I just did find it noteworthy that even though the offense sputtered a lot last year, there was never really a moment where, other than briefly in that first Georgia game, where it was like, okay, let's give Arch a look. That never really happened, which I think is pretty interesting. Okay, number 3, just to pump the brakes on next year's draft, he's unlikely to go pro next year, guys. People in the know, it's kind of the worst kept secret. Arch Manning is very unlikely to declare for the draft next year, even if he has a big time year. Now, look, if he leads Texas to a national championship and is a Heisman finalist or hell wins the Heisman, sure, that could certainly change things if he's like a lock to be the number 1 or number 2 pick. And at that point, like, this video becomes moot, right? It's like, well, he lived up to the hype, right? Like, and by the way, I'm not saying he even won't. I'm just saying let's see him do a little bit of it first. But it's pretty well known within that program that he's going to play for 2 years because the Mannings aren't stupid. They know that there is pretty much no extensive list of guys who started 1 year or less working out in the NFL. And that's what this would be. If Arch Manning starts this year, he will declare for the NFL draft being a 1-year starter and then 2 random starts the year before. That's it. That's not a lot of experience. If you look over the data the last 20 years, if guys who go pro after 1 year of starting and get drafted high, typically doesn't work out. Mark Sanchez, Mitch Trubisky, to name a few. Anthony Richardson so far doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. Why? Because he just hasn't had the reps. Like, there's a reason Bo Nix, even though people viewed him as like, maybe he's not the biggest, the strongest, yada, yada, yada. Well, he's seen a lot of ball, right? You get him in the right situation, even if he's not as gifted as an Anthony Richardson, he's a better pro quarterback because he's started 60 games in the SEC and Pac-12. Anthony Richardson started like 13. Arch, if he plays this year, will have 15-ish starts under his belt. It's just not very many. So I think people in his camp are like, yeah, you're gonna stay at Texas for 2 years. Could that change? Sure, but I'd be surprised. And look, he can look to 2 guys in his family. Obviously, it was a different time. Peyton Manning, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, right? 3.5-year starter at Tennessee. Eli Manning, pretty damn good player. Probably going to be in the Hall of Fame pretty soon. 3-year starter at Ole Miss. So the point is he's got people in his camp who have been through this before. He also has the benefit of a lot of data. And if you go pro after 1 year of starting, your chances of succeeding in the NFL are pretty low. Pretty damn low. It's already hard enough, even for guys who have been 2, 3, 4-year starters in college. 1 or less, that's very, very difficult. So in conclusion to that, barring a historic season, he will not turn pro. And another reason why he won't is because money is not an issue. Number one, he comes from the Manning family. Money will never be an issue for Arch Manning, but he's earning money himself in this NIL era. There was a report last week that Texas will have invested $35 to $40 million on this year's roster alone. Let's say it's on the low end of that. Let's out $30 million. I'll be generous. I bet Arch is making at least 5. Good, established Power 5, Power 4 quarterbacks make on the low end $2 million. Texas, along with Oregon and a couple other schools, has more NIL investment money than any other program. I bet Arch Manning is easily clearing $5 million, and it's probably more than that in just other random deals that he and his family are involved with. So it's not like it's a money issue. It wouldn't be regardless of the NIL era with the Mannings. Obviously, they've had 2 quarterbacks in the last 25 years in the NFL. They've made hundreds of millions of dollars as a family. Arch would be fine regardless, but he's making money for himself. He's probably already cleared $8 to $10 million at Texas, and he's barely played. And he's probably going to make, I don't know, 5 to 10 this year. And if he comes back next year, if he's good this year, could it be $10 million next year? That wouldn't shock me whatsoever. So, in conclusion, this is a very talented individual, right? He's got the size. He's mobile, unlike his uncles. He's got more of the Archie athleticism and his dad, Cooper, who is a wide receiver. He can really move. Good, I wouldn't say a special arm, but a good arm. Like, he's got what you need to be a big-time player, but we just haven't seen him play. And he started 2 games, low-leverage games. Mississippi State, Louisiana Monroe. So I believe in his talent. My guess is he will end up being a very, very good player, but can we just see it? Like, it's so predictable. Texas preseason number 1. Arch Manning, he's going to be the number 1 pick. Well, guys, he's probably not even going to go pro, even if he has an unbelievable year. People in the know that. I saw Matt Miller, an NFL draft analyst, said, I'm not even doing work on Arch yet because the chances of him going pro next year are close to 0. So let's just see this play out. I think, listen, we live in a hot take world. Let's just see. I would bet on him being good. But to act like it's foolproof and there's no chance that he could face some struggles, guess what? It's very difficult to be a good quarterback at the Power 4 level. I don't care who your uncles are. Okay, will Arch Manning be a first-round pick in the future? Type 1 for yes, 2 for no. I would probably bet on it. But still, the odds of that for anyone are very, 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 very astronomical. So let's just see how it all plays out for Arch Manning at Texas. No pressure or no quarterback entering a season in my lifetime will enter a year under more pressure than Arch Manning. I think that's pretty safe to say. Okay, that's going to do it for this edition of 4 Verts. Again, we are on the cusp of 10,000 subscribers, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We'll see you guys next time here on the channel.